is the life of a thirsty ant, a man who wants to stay away from the city's grandfather. Leave the two of you to buy a bike that you don't use anymore. It takes a few words to turn a cot into a place where the house has to be roofed. Success in living a life must be on the roof of the car. Although this car has run out of life, there is no place where the engine is still very good. Used to be a compact car that could turn dozens of people. So of course it was very good, and when the car got home, it was already dark. The next morning, he pulled out the seat of the car first to see the place for the next renovation, and then wherever he could see, it was removed far away, especially these lights, in order to resist and keep calm in the future, when he had to remove it completely. In order to pay for the next renovation, he would have also removed the pink machine. In addition, he had to clean up the books when the rafters were still in place and the car was rotten. Only these two things made him lose up to 2 frequencies. The car was not as good as the general head. In fact, it was really very prolific. You are not seriously affected by books, you just need to remove books with a machine. And wash the coconut again with a high water dispenser. Then it will be far from being exposed to a real creation. This interchangeable will be converted into an RV. Because of the interspersed rows at the back door. This is not necessary to have fun books. I only saw the rive cutter. To make the old book save machine, the excess was also written down. And the pink letter and the barrier. Instead of coming back again. Not in the language of creation to always. The door seems to be placed on the 2 cars. So it is necessary to draw up whole half. The wardful window on the side also needs to be completely removed. Even if it will be folded after accumulation, it is too obvious. Not enough nut brain. Is followed by the month, and it is not a draft. It was abandoned because the sentence of the body had been changed. In order to 8, this is not later, the steel season is back. There is no luggage compartment in the trunk of the car. In addition to scooping up strong body. Here it is also possible to confirm that the sugar season is real. After that, you can do a little fishing without the door. According to the height of the vehicle, but in order to install the soil, you have to turn off the half of the car. It is a steel test with a capital. Even the entrance must be made of steel pipes. The most important thing is to disable. For 2 days under darkness, he was busy showing the empty yard for seal. Inside the population is gradually covered to up in the 3rd grade. Now the wagons and the crowd are much closer. The next morning, I went to buy this kind of sutra. Offer with the power of steel. This type of timmeric glass plate is more suitable for the cabin. Reduce road wet. At the same time, it's possible to reduce a number of customers. Of course, in order for them to test the water, it is necessary to apply the real key and the integrated pot without the door to do the same. Make the door again, reinstall the lock and the tag, and say that it can draw the weight of the tear. In order to make the most of a momentum is not solid, tear the front trigger wire of the home machine, and then do not do it, then just fix it on the roof of a car. It can be used to make a heavy grain and take care of some things. Installing a solar cell brocade so that the wall does not need to worry about electricity on the way. The deep door of this order was also brought the next day. Only to see the wall and the door up and down. The boat in front of it did not look at one by one. Just turn off the hole from the door. It was possible to install a perfect challenge for the deep door. The deep door behind the car is made of a circle, which may have a better research mind, but the book template will not be suitable for the mind of the wall. I saw that I was holding the machine. The machine ran out of green paint was the original tree. Did this work help the birth to die? But it also tests the practitioner's understanding, helping to deepen the connection between the outer sutras. Also need to be stamped for writing, and then temporarily wrap important parts with newspapers. Only then can you change the attack to challenge the body yard. First of all, paint the mat at a time, to play with the small defects on the car surface. Wait after the area, move to the professional yard. The contradiction is an eye-catching one, helping the book become the most prominent picture on the road. Only the connection of the body is too expensive. The stack of books is not harmonious, not much, just simplify the connection. From the outside, it is impossible to see where it is not beautiful. Combined with the door swinging up, you can also see that this used to be a sabot, looking like a set with a calendar around the world. Your experience is very important, save money, and temporarily go far away from the central committee. These things have to be refurbished. Before that, he calmed down what was simplified. Dang Bao will not encounter any difficulties when he returns to the car for a long time. Vehicle renovation is a complicated job, even if the export will be gent, still resigned from the old car. Instead, clog the old pot. The termite thread must be made to look for eyelashes, come through more than half a year. The same prize can be handled in the body, but before putting the car grain. The external search plate needs to be created first so that Deng Bao Pan Douan can connect to McQE and a car. Do it again, pump the rafters, fix, semi-direct, a kind of action. It will not be possible to happen in the future. Send all the wood into children. Acting as a voice on the car. In order to facilitate the later harvesting, before that, it is necessary to spread a foreign country to produce verse. In order to simplify the noise when driving, in addition, the thunderstorms of the water, the harshness of the water, must be dealt with in advance. Only then can you tear off the karmic barrier to the place, so that you can feel the fun in winter. Hey, even the trunk and roof of the car are not overlooked. I have to say that it is in the most compact position that I love. Hey, is it okay? The wall is a flood on the right side of the car. This will be used to trace the water and to rely on the 6 in the thought of tearing. The water bottle is located in the left luggage compartment. The other side is used to install the water bank machine. The back will be the area for fresh water bottles. In order to balance the weight versus 12, unexpectedly it is Korean poetry and crazy times. Even the support for the country has no comment. Drilling up and down alone to get a hole to insert the text, and being hit by pipe ants. See, if you don't get a body, then everything will not be so complicated. Then the book goes into the car. On the ruins of the car building with a letter, there needs to be a beautiful one below. This is me going to supervise the noise similar to going to the house. Looking at the big changes in the car, who saw that the face did not give him a hand, but the area of attraction to the ceiling in the past, circumventing the use of wood to scold the lights, after installing the car with the lower headlights inside. Hearing this, it is not that there is no more side, and then later, hearing the water holding the body, fixed on the turn of a drum on the roof of the car. Make a pharmacy letter for commercial goods during the trip. The other area is used to fix the panels. In order to solve the problem of consuming concentrated energy on the road. Follow the use of wood writing to divide the performance. Do not spread out and do not encroach. Listening to the kitchen, blind room and panel room is indescribable. The first choice is a small room made of wooden planks. It can definitely fit in the house. The opposite side is used as a plate room. Of course, it also needs the use of the branch to create greenery. The match was tried by the Groot Prize. It also looks quite gorgeous. Until now the talent has lost 5 years. When you look at it, you can see that it only takes a few wires. It usually takes 2 days to complete. The net is like a capacitor, all of which are made by his own hands, as small as the installation of a capacitor. It is even more impossible to give way to the person who can do it, to say that the corner is very close to the counterplate. To make sure that it is paired with Chengyan HA. Just peel them into a strong love with a wood shredder right in. Looking at the absence of any guests after the work, the rest are very unforgettable. The ladder is not arranged in the car with good luck, can only try not to spread many good edges. The shape of the car driving area is in front of the force, and there is also a twisted twist. If it can't be drafted, then lift the ruins and also divide it into a dismantling area. The remnants of the rear seats on the top of the car all made into a kind of cover. The double root ruins were not used, and at the same time, it was possible to have this used immediately. The bedroom used to be used by his father in the back of the car, not only to protect his life and privacy, but also to be remarkably good in the use of not. It must be said that the rotten things are delicate, the work is complicated, and the body seems to be able to pull in. Even if it comes out, he can easily do it. Pulling out is a positive opposite, retracting it into a single Farron number. It does not affect the back door. It can only be said, you can't hit the use of Zingta, then use one to get out and put the door closure, and the line can. It's easy to get out of the way. I often do, even using sparse materials, through the work of officials and apricots, to make the price of sugar and spices that heaven knows. The feeling of heaven entering is very light. Is there anything that this brother doesn't know anymore? The Wonka system of a car in Vienna is always a problem. Moreover, the 5 sons were not in the ground, and the plane was fully covered and repaired in the car, only to see that he first sealed the problem with wooden boards. After that, the stones need to challenge a body, cockroaches around them. The furnace is made with trusses, making a beautiful furnace of corpses. Without the oven of harmonious mechanical noodles, it is also necessary to make holes in the body of the car, so that the park trusses do not go out. Then the soil is raised, the air is far away from the house. The next day, he was able to control the water loss for the plate room, and without Bondu hand, the process of making faces was confusing. But it was good that he could control the process by himself. The quality of the piano and at the same time the details of the package, the drum is absorbent. For fixing the room of the plate, it needs to be stretched to the place, with the fear of love and a lot of ecstasy. After the need to challenge the standard permeability, this material is both light and waterproof, even more incompatible with this shock condition on Yuta. The sky is completely destroyed. Very the new lamps come in to bring the lamps, solve the problem of not being ready in the night cake, then bake all the car powder and the yard is all white. Maybe there is only one sweat, a little nothing, so the powder gathers if the slaughterhouse is grain. Coordination also does not feel the number. Then the skull compares the accumulation of the coconut tub. Use the door in a circle. Cut holes for the coconut and chicken tubs at the same time, in order. To avoid the situation of scratching the case, cut into pieces, sharp corners need to be made, round with a cutting machine. When it is very accurate, the water is back in the car and very X. It is said that cars are very difficult to make. But very worried about that. I almost saw him being flooded on the body of the car. Filled up with the vacuum cleaner I have this small. In the future, even if enough Chinese food is needed, you don't need to worry about the smell from using it anymore. Not only that, but this is both flat and beautiful, and you also made it with his own hands. It can only be said that this left brother is really instinctive. But only late at night is still in use before. Just need to be burned and refurbished can God. What can be used for guests? Even if it is to call for more women. The car doesn't feel good at all. These ancient center consoles also did not throw away after cleaning, the polishing and refielding. Like this, it has saved a lot of money. As for the console, it is a colored field. Not only does it help the termites, but it also looks very good. This is not after the birth is completely put alive and the container will be confused and discarded. Gave the city of Lips to move in a drain, but before the start of the main city. It is also necessary to go to the Department of Date Communication to change the custom of Setuavi. And put up a number plate. Thus, Skip Kiwicom also fulfills his promise. When you come to a ship, you will step hard, and it will become a place where you don't break anything because you have money. To live in a place is to go on a car because who sees it without pecking water, even if you don't have to go to work after this. To the left lip is the place where you suspect he's also happy, not to mention it sits in the back of the head.